Alright, how's it going, everybody? Sandwhichpants here today, and I, I'm a little bit, fucking irritated. You know, you get on Twitter and you try and, discuss different strategies and different approaches, and you just get fucking dogpiled by idiots! People who don't have any concept of pragmatism, utilitarianism, any way to move forward. You need to put the minimum wage at $25 an hour right now, even though it'll fucking decimate an economy if you just more than triple the fucking wage. You point that out. Oh, you're fucking bad faith, you're a grifter, you don't want progress, you're a shit lib. Shut the fuck up. Seriously, fuck you. Like fucking griftographer. Or griftography. This dumb fuck. And yeah, I go on the edge of ableist there. Because they're so goddamn brain dead. Then they brigade my normal page. But, yeah. And then you get shit like this. You think Vosh is a leftist. Case closed. Which he fucking is. Because I said, I honestly don't care what idiots like this think my political positions are, because she said I'm a liberal. This person doesn't know him, so they are just trying to smear someone who well may be further left than they are. And, then yeah, you think Vosh is a leftist, case closed. Well, he is. Just because you have no brain doesn't mean I'm wrong. Sucks to suck, don't at me. And then this fucking idiot, sir, you just did an ableism, and a sexism, and a no growth, and a bad faith. Because I've been calling them out for being bad faith and pointing out that they don't understand that, yeah, somebody could have done something a few years ago and fucking learned from it. Oh, and yeah, this person, obviously this dumb shit doesn't know anything about liberal bullshit. Because if you don't immediately fall in line behind fucking Brianna Joy Gray or Jimmy Dore, these goddamn idiots come out and, You're a liberal. You're a liberal. You don't. You criticized Jimmy Dore. Yeah, Jimmy Dore's a grifting piece of shit. Okay? You criticize Breonna Joy Gray. You hate black people. No, I just don't agree with her take on this. Y'all are fucking stupid. This is the reason the left doesn't go anywhere. You find people who are on your side on most issues, and you turn around and you brigade their page until they can't fucking post, trying to make them delete tweets that you don't like to read. They don't harm anybody, so go fuck yourself. Choke on my meaty dick, okay? Because this is... Yeah, I'm irritated. Because these people don't have any idea of what's effective. They don't have any idea of what's pragmatic. They just hear something that's a crazy radical idea, you know, something that on paper without any actual thought put into it sounds good. Yeah, if you think about it, moving the minimum wage up to $25 an hour sounds fucking great. So they just run with it. They don't bother to think, what could be the ramifications of suddenly more than tripling the minimum wage? Well, people are going to get laid the fuck off. A lot of small businesses can't actually handle that increase without a major subsidy from the federal government. You can't just suddenly increase minimum wage like that. It does have to move in steps. And since we allowed it to fall this fucking far behind, it's going to take a little while to catch up to where we fucking need to be. Like, holy shit. I don't understand. I really don't. These people are just so goddamn brainless. They are literally leftist reactionaries. They're left's version of a reactionary. You see, ContraPoints has been treated the exact same way that Vosh has and that I have, because she posts something that somebody who wants to get fucking woke points didn't agree with, so they just thrash her all over the internet. Natalie's further left than pretty much any of the dumb fuck little babies that tried to criticize her. Hassan, also further left than the majority of people who try to criticize him. But they want to score the fucking woke points. They want to make themselves seem more progressive and pure than they actually fucking are. Every single one of you, myself included, has some issues. Some shit that we need to work on to be better. All of us. So what I need for the left to fucking realize is that you calm down a small amount whenever somebody puts out an obviously clipped bit, an out of context clip. Whenever somebody does that and shoves it out online, go look for the original source. Go get the context. Maybe then shit'll sink into your smooth brain and add some goddamn wrinkles. I truly don't understand how we let leftists get to this fucking point. It's pathetic. Y'all need to go to this channel. Right here. So there's one lefty that I don't get here criticized as a shit lib. Or a grifter. That was Michael Brooks. even people who were trying to trash Sam Cedar, because he did admittedly have some yikesy things that he put out on Twitter after his discussion with Brianna Joy Gray. I'll criticize him on that. But even people who were criticizing Sam and calling him a shitlib praise Michael Brooks. This is somebody that Michael Brooks promoted constantly. And it shows that you may have watched Michael Brooks some, but you idiots never bothered to look into Ben. You never looked into logic. You never looked into utilitarianism. You never looked into pragmatism. And so you just fail constantly, and you always push the left further behind. It's people like those idiots. Griftography. Best Fort. Although I generally like some of his takes. He's pretty decent. But it's people like that. The people who just see an out-of-context clip and lose their goddamn minds. Those are the people who keep pushing us further back and making it easier for conservatives to just grab the narrative and run with it. We're always on the back foot trying to advocate for what we want because we have idiots like that in our goddamn movement who keep holding us back. If you actually want Medicare for all, learn. Become smarter. If you actually want an increased minimum wage, learn. I normally try and stay really, really calm on stream. Because I see people, I do see people who criticize Vosh as being too aggressive. But holy fucking shit. You guys are so goddamn brain dead. Oh, this idea on paper sounds good, like it'll help people. We don't want to look into any of the negative effects of it, so we're just going to advocate for it. And as soon as you try and point out that there could be some negative effects that we're not thinking about, you're suddenly a shitlib. You're suddenly a conservative. Like, holy fuck. You all are the new reactionaries. Shut the fuck up. Until you can learn, until you can come in good faith and discuss, instead of just, oh, you criticize this policy, you're a shitlib. Come with an actual argument. Give them an argument. Logic for the left. Something that the left is obviously lacking on. That's why the book was written, actually. It's goddamn pathetic. How is it me? Somebody who will admit I'm not that fucking smart. Which is a perk, because I have to look over everything that's put in front of me. All of it. How can someone like me recognize that these people are fucking stupid and that they don't have any political effectiveness? They have no strategy. If I can point it out to them, they want to call me stupid. Well, maybe that should help you reflect on your goddamn self. Because I am fairly dumb. But if I can point out the flaws in your shit, that should maybe make you think, maybe this is really dumb. Because if I think this guy's an idiot, and he's able to accurately and concisely criticize the position that I'm taking, maybe my position is really, really, really stupid. The more I go on this, the angrier I'm just gonna get. Because I already know. I'm gonna put this out, and there's gonna be some people who fucking come in brigade. And try and ratio my shit. But you know what? I don't care. Come ratio my video. Maybe you should take a second, and instead of just doing that, listen. Recognize where somebody is criticizing you from. Slow down. But I don't see it happening. I really don't. I mean, the level of Destiny versus Possum. Possum Queen? I don't know. This is the level of shit that the people who criticize Vosh are working off of. Here, let's. Oh, this isn't even. That's the kind of shit that they get. That's literally the level of information these dumb fucks work off of. Oh, he said Black Hawk glory holes for everyone 12 and older. Pedophile. It's all out of context! Context matters! I legitimately had somebody on Twitter in that shit that I was discussing. They literally were, you sound like a Jordan B. Peterson fan. You need to watch videos to get some context. Well, yeah, you need context for literally anything you're going to criticize, especially when it's an obviously out of context clip. That's why these exist. Out of context. They are made specifically to make someone look bad. Specifically for that. Now, Thermia is a big fan of Vosh and just does this for the lulz. Again, this one. ACAT says brown people bad. That's literally the level of information these dumb fucks work off of. Literally. They never watched the Destiny Vosh versus Striker Allsup debate where they tear into the fucking Nazis. They've never watched Vosh's shutting down a turf video. They've never watched anything by him. Nothing. I don't know, dude. You tell me. Here, let's epic duo Vosh. The legendary duo debate. I mean, I'm sorry. That's a really good critique. Does that make him a shitlib? No. He blows out Nazis all the time. He converts Nazis to socialism. Oh, but he's a liberal. Or a conservative. Yeah, no. Go fuck yourselves. You're all fucking stupid. I didn't even have a normal topic. This is this was just so fucking frustrating for me to have to deal with that I had to just start a stream so I could yell at these fuckers. So they can come find it later. Go ahead. Get on here and try and criticize me. Y'all are so goddamn dumb. Nah. Yep, still got these dumb fucks trying to do shit. These crusty fuckers. They're all dumb. They're all dumb. As soon as somebody sees the word Vosh on leftist Twitter, they lose their shit. They're worse reactionaries. They are bigger at being reactionaries than the right ever was. Ever. It sucks to say. Now the right's reactionary tendencies were more harmful overall, but it's not like this shit isn't harmful to the left. Right-wing reactionary people hurt everyone. So that puts it on a different tier. Left-wing reactionaries specifically hurt the left, which, in a roundabout way, hurts everyone. Because if you're putting a bad image to the left, if you're making it harder for the left to get a message out, if you're attacking, trying to deplatform the people who generally agree with you, you are doing more harm than you are good. And that's what I'm going to go out on a limb and say about 70% of leftist Twitter is a leftist reactionary. They do more fucking harm than they do any good. Point me to one of these idiots on Twitter who's actually gotten anything accomplished. Anything. I'll put Jimmy Dore in that category so that you can go ahead and throw him. And I'll go ahead and tell you, he's got nothing done. Nothing. He didn't make AOC, like he tries to claim. He had nothing to do with AOC. Nothing. He tried to promote her when she was running. But he had maybe 200,000, maybe 400,000, I believe around 200,000 when AOC got elected. Do you think 200,000 people? Do you think all of them lived in New York? For one. No. And for two, do you really think you had that much sway on the most popular House member getting elected? I'm sorry. But that's really goddamn conceited. It's also super ignorant. So Jimmy Dore has accomplished nothing except for putting a split in the left with this force the vote thing. Because there's stupid reactionaries who listen to AOC didn't come on my show. She's a grifter. She's not willing to force a vote by holding her vote for Nancy as Speaker of the House. She's a grifter. She sold out. Wah! Force the vote. And they go, oh yeah, that sounds like a good strategy. This giant man baby screaming at women and crying on his show that somebody didn't come onto it as proof that she sold out. She wouldn't go onto your show, so she sold out? Fuck you. That's a level of fucking egomania I haven't seen in a while. That's almost as bad as Trump. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's really distressing. Because not only, I mean, it irritates me that people do this. And then it's really, really distressing and mildly depressing to see them do this and recognize the effects that it has. They don't think about the effects. They think they're making things better when they don't. They legitimately believe that brigading their own allies over a minor disagreement in something is doing more good for leftism than trying to convince more people that this general policy, the general thing that we can all agree on as leftists, if we can get that to be accepted by a majority of the fucking people, we can then debate the methods, the strategy behind it. You don't just tear apart your own allies because they want to point out that your strategy is bad. But no, that's all these fuckers do. Then again, when most of your politics are, well, they're identity politics. That's what a lot of the leftists are focusing in on. It's the shittiest thing. Like, when someone criticizes Breonna Joy Gray and they're not black, I have legitimately seen people dogpile somebody who said, I don't think this is a good take, Breonna. I think this is a bad strategy. And they come out and say, oh, you're a racist. You don't think black people have good ideas. Shut up. Disagreeing with one particular idea does not equate to A, not liking black people. That is a major smear. It is a big fucking stretch, and it's super reactionary. Oh, and it's also literally the thing Republicans accuse the left of doing. Hardcore id poll. But I see it all the time. Like, seriously. Almost makes you want to fucking kill yourself. It's seriously depressing. It really is. This is a completely impromptu stream. I did not really plan to do this. But I felt like it needed to be done. I do. Thank you, Dylan! Alright. Okay. This is somebody who generally agrees with Breonna Joy Gray on, from what I can tell, a lot of things. Dylan Burns? Good dude. Good looking dude, too. I like his hair. Reminds me of mine. I got long ass hair, too. But this is somebody that I have seen the people who were, pro force the vote talking about as not being a shitlib. Let's see how fast they turn when they realize that he's against force the vote. Because it's stupid. Dylan's smarter than me. Dylan's worked in politics. I'm just a dude who studies politics. So, there's that. We're gonna take a quick dip. Actually, no, I'm just gonna cover this whole fucking video. I'll point out where I think he makes some mistakes. And I'll point out why I think he's right. Shouldn't be that hard to point out why I think he's right. He should be able to describe it pretty fucking well himself. So, let's listen to the Dylan Burns of the Hippy Dippy podcast. And I'm gonna smoke on this joint to calm myself down. I replied to this. I wonder if it'll pop up in my thing. Oh. That is true. That is the step 4, which is to primary the people who vote no on Medicare for all. Now I'm probably going to preempt. Actually, I'm going to preempt this a bit because I know why it's dumb. We know who will vote no on Medicare for all. We know. We already know. So, true. I do need to make sure. Is this actually going out? Is everything going out? You know what? I'll just check. Which one of you? You're left. Fucking God. Okay, whatever. All right. Go ahead, Dylan. Oh, okay. Well, um, I don't. He doesn't. He doesn't appear to be having any sound come through. I wonder why that is. It was working so well earlier. See, that should be the thing. Let's go ahead and do that. So we got that going. Why isn't it? See, that's what that is. Is it this? Could it be that? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay. That's This is irritating. It should be. let's just abbreviate to YouTube, YT, boom, URL, copy, settings, YouTube. Okay. Done. Is it going to do that? Okay. I guess we'll just do it from here. Okay, I don't understand. It should be outputting. Let's do this. Okay. Is this working now? Let me find out. Because I have no idea. Let's continue. I just gotta figure out why the sound isn't playing. Because Dylan is actually criticizing this. Let me get the stream caught up. Still no? I don't... This doesn't... It does not make any sense to me. I don't even know what Stream Boss is. Oh. Nope. Okay. Let me figure this out. Alright, I'm sorry. I can't get this to work. Let's hide that. So, you know, fuck. One second, everybody. I will be right back.
Smart to ever learn to unfire
That is not what I meant to do. Well, you know, sometimes shit happens. I think I figured it out. Maybe. If I didn't get it off of this, then I gotta do some other work. Okay. Well, this says I need to do this. Or, as a last resort, I can temporarily use an alternative program to capture audio, such as Voicemeeter Banana. I really like Streamlabs, but Jesus, it's given me a lot of problems. So I don't think we can really do videos. That is not what I wanted to do. Okay. So, let's go ahead and just close that. So that this will be an interesting stream, I guess. I can just click this. Pull this one open. We're gonna read. I got accused of not reading any theory. But I'm sorry, I wouldn't have anything on this document if I hadn't read theory. Because I wouldn't know what the fuck I'm talking about in any regard. And at least I know some stuff. I haven't read all theory, but come on. Come on. See, notice. I have 2 lines for Maoism, because I haven't read a lot of Maoism stuff. I've read Guerrilla Warfare, and I've read the Little Red Book, but I have not read all of Mao's works, nor have I read all of the history of China under that time. I do know that it was really good for their economy. But there's not a whole lot to generally just put in the summary of theories for Marxism, because it's stuff that Marx wrote, and there's actually more I could add here, but that's really for down here. See? So I'm expanding more about what I know. I consider myself an anarcho-orthodox Marxist. That's the full way I would put it. Because Marxism is fairly pragmatic. Because he does advocate for transitional states until it withers away and dies. Lenin takes that and moves it to where instead of just reforming, he wants to take control with a vanguard party and then guide the state to where it needs to be. He didn't want to just take the people who were there and try and reform them. He wants to take the state and make it a worker state instead of a bourgeois democracy state. Because a bourgeois democracy is something he railed against, but he also expressly stated that you needed to work to save bourgeois democracy. I don't think he said it in the direct terms like that. I think he said you need to choose the easiest battleground for you. Far-right governments are a harder battleground for socialists and communists. They just kill us. That's it. They find out you're a lefty? Gah! Done. So that's what happens. You know, it's just... Guys, I need you to understand. I really do. I say I'm an idiot, but that's because I know that I have to check everything. And I haven't made any edits since November 24th. Because I haven't read enough. I was last reading The Origin of the Family, Private Property, and the State on stream. But it's really hard to do that on here. And choose a stopping point for this book. So let's just start with the Wikipedia page. Now, as you'll notice, the thing I've highlighted tells me to check the references in here is as well. Because see, yeah. Boom. Here's their citations. But yeah, see also analytical Marxism. And see, I need to read all of this. Post-Marxism, open Marxism, pre-Marxism socialist to know what goes on there, Hegelian Marxism. Like all of these I gotta read. Copy. Let's get down to it. I'm not gonna bother hyperlinking these yet. Copy. So we can close that tab. We can probably actually close that other one. Postmodern neo-Marxism. That's right, everyone. It's postmodern neo-Marxism. I gotta add the new references. Okay. It's got a Wikipedia. I can at least read the Wikipedia on it. Yes, Wikipedia, very valid source. It actually is. That is not a joke. So let's begin, shall we? I definitely want this joint. Hold on. Alright, I gotta test this thing. Hey! Fuck around to find out. I have a boob on order. It should be here in 2 days. So I could actually use my microphone and have it sound right the entire time. How's that? Yeah, I'm sure you like that. Let me actually just go ahead and do this. Oop. I want this to be the thing. I want you guys to see this. Ladies and gentlemen, you see this now? Apparently that's not what you see now. Oh well. Oh, that was a good hit. Okay, well, what I'm gonna try and do It really doesn't want to pick me up. It wants to be right in my face. So let us begin. Marxism is a method of socioeconomic analysis that uses a materialist interpretation of historical development, better known as historical materialism, to understand class relations and social conflict, as well as dialectical perspective to view social transformation. It originates from the works of 19th-century German philosophers Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. As Marxism has developed over time into various branches and schools of thought, there is currently no single definitive Marxist theory. True. Some Marxist schools of thought place greater emphasis on certain aspects of classical Marxism while rejecting or modifying other aspects. I like the classical Marxism bit, honestly. Some schools have sought to combine Marxian concepts and non-Marxian concepts, which has then led to contradictory conclusions. I'm sure. It has been argued that there is a movement toward the recognition of historical and dialectical materialism as the fundamental conceptions of all Marxist schools of thought. Well, yeah, that's kind of fundamental. This is rejected by some post-Marxists, such as Ernesto Laclau and Chantal Mouffe, who claim that history is not only determined by the mode of production, but also by consciousness and will. Okay. Okay. 1985 work. Okay. It said that post-Marxism as a political theory was developed at the University of Essex by Laclau and Moff. Philosophically, post-Marxism counters derivationism and essentialism. For example, it does not see economy as a foundation of politics and the state as an instrument that functions unambiguously and autonomously on behalf of the interest of a given class. It's true, it doesn't function unambiguously and autonomously. Hmm. Okay, that's really short. Marxism has had a profound impact on global academia, having influenced many fields, including anthropology, archaeology, art theory, criminology, criminal studies, economics, education, ethics, film theory, geography, historiography, literary criticism, media studies, philosophy, political science, psychology, science studies, sociology, urban planning, and theater. Yeah, the ideas are so fucking popular that they've influenced all these fields. And the only fucking reason that people really oppose it is because conservatives don't want you to go to college, where you can be exposed to, intelligence. Marxism seeks to explain social phenomena within any given society by analyzing the material conditions and economic activities required to fulfill human material needs. Yeah. So, for example, a Marxist can look at, say, the MGTOW movement, the men going their own way, and they feel alienated, right? Men just feel alienated, and they think it's women. They've been guided to that conclusion because they can't put their finger on it. They can't get laid, so they blame the woman. That's essentially what happens. But the issue isn't this. It isn't that women aren't sleeping with them. Partly, the issue is their personality or something about them. Some part of them that just doesn't attract most women they try and talk to, I guess. I get it. There's parts of me that I know I need to work on. I'm working on it. But what they don't recognize is that this alienation is felt across everyone. Every single person is feeling this level of alienation and isolation. It's harder to make friends. You're having less dating potential or sexual partners just all around across the board. And you feel like there's a stranglehold on your life. You feel like something is wrong in society. Right? Well, what's the basis for your entire life? How in this world do you maintain being alive? Well, you have to have money. You don't have money. You can't afford food or water or a house, like no shelter or anything. You nothing. So, what do you do? If you don't have money, or if you have just barely enough money to survive, you don't go out. You don't get to spend time with people. You develop depression. Well, why don't you have money? Well, because you can't work. Well, what does work actually do in our society? Work, in the economic sense, means to go and literally sell your labor to another person in the hopes that they can give you money enough to live. But what they do is, even if you have a job, if you're at minimum wage, below, at or below the poverty line, the reason that is because your boss, the owner of the place you work, the guy who doesn't do any work, not the guy, like, not a franchise owner, the CEO, has decided for literally everyone there to go, I want to make more money. It's my company, so I make the money. But how does that money come in? Because we can take McDonald's, for example. How much money can you realistically make selling burgers and fries by yourself? You have no help. You can make some. You cannot make $1 billion that way. Well, you're taught that everything is competition. Competition drives down prices, and competition is how you succeed. Everything's a competition. Well, what's the biggest competition of them all? Well, to get the most money. Well, how are you going to do that? You can't make it by doing it without other people. You don't have the means to be able to produce enough goods to generate that much profit. So you bring somebody on. But instead of paying them, the value that they add to the overall business, you pay them a fraction. You set some aside for overhead, like you were already doing, and then the rest of that money you just put it in your pocket. That's yours. It doesn't matter that they're doing literally what you were just doing when you opened the place. Doesn't matter. No. No. Pay him 10 cents a week. Now I get to make $2 a week. It's 1860. 10 cents is a lot of goddamn money. Expand that to today, where instead of being rich, being a couple $1,000, being rich, being the king of money hoarding, is $195 billion. You can never spend it all. Like realistically, if you didn't do wasteful, ostentatious bullshit with it, you could never spend that money. There is literally no reason to have it. You exploited somebody else's work to steal the money out of their pocket to keep them in poverty, which also keeps the area they're in with poorer schools. So you get less educated children. And you just compound this over hundreds of years. And yeah, you can go to college, and the government stepped in and tried to do things about that. But it's kind of sad when your economic model requires government to step in and go, no, you need to treat people like people. You can't put kids into machines that fucking killed them some of the time, about a third of the time. Because they'll just turn on whenever they fix it, and it crushes them. You can't work people literally. Let's see, what's the hourly? I'm pretty sure that was Yeah, I think it was like 95 hours a week that people were having to work. That's a lot of hours. And you're getting paid like a penny an hour. But for every hour you work, you're generating a quarter. 25 cents. Hmm. Imagine that. So think about it. The economic model that I'm describing is capitalism. It's what we've got right now. Most of the big innovation that has happened has been through government funding for the military. Internet originally developed for military use, governmental use. So, that is a thing. You can't really claim that you created the internet in the private market because that's a very provable lie. Cell phones. Cell phones were developed by the government. The free market really didn't used to exist like that. People individually innovated. They'll even teach you this in school. Who invented the light bulb? Alexander Graham Bell. He didn't mean to profit off it. It's not why he made it. So, if he didn't mean to profit off of it, just because he held the patent and stuff, yeah, he held the patent. He wanted to make sure that he got credit for its invention. I'm pretty sure it was Alexander Graham Bell. I know he made like the phone. Who the fuck made the light bulb? I don't remember. I haven't been in elementary school in a long time. Oh, they say Thomas Edison. Oh, Thomas Edison. There's Joseph Swan. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that I remember. Joseph Swan got screwed. Fuck you, Thomas Edison. Uh, it was the telegraph, I believe. David Alter. There we go. That guy. What was it that he made? Oh yeah, I was right. Telephone. Dope. 1847. He made it, and then wanted to remember it, and then I guess he founded a company using it. Because I mean, why wouldn't you afterwards? In capitalism, which if it's a co-op, if other people own and you pay them and give them democracy, because he did co-found telephone, photo phone, hydro. What metal detector? What the fuck, my dude? What? Why don't they teach you about this shit? Huh. He made tetrahedral kite. Alright. That's cool. I didn't know. Photophone, that's mind blowing. Alright. Yeah. Samuel Morse made Morse code. Made it for the military, I believe. But see, yeah. Who made America? Yeah. So he grew up when the founders were still like around and being like, yo, we're smoking a lot of weed and being kind of proto-socialist because we don't really like the hierarchy of an unjust government, but we recognize that we need some sort of like general guidance for this place. So, proto-socialist. They wanted to take care of the people that lived there and make their lives well. Except for, all the people that they didn't. But by their logic, they didn't think that, black people were actually human, which is pretty fucked up. Because you just look at another human and you go, huh, you have different skin than me. You must be some kind of lesser, almost human. And that's really gross. See, I personally go, oh, you've stated your beliefs and you think that Jews control the world and that you need to eliminate all non-white people from the world. You're kinda subhuman with your views. Because Nazis, I don't consider them real people. I don't know. I know. Hot take. Nazis aren't people. They can become people. But as I said, no. Fuck them. That's my moral axiom for saying that it's okay to punch a Nazi. I would argue it in court. They may not see it my way, but I would argue it that way. Why did you punch him? You can't just go around punching people. Well, I didn't punch a person. Nazis aren't people. So, let's continue. I had to go on that little alienation rant. Oh yeah, and it's part of the reason that conservatives want to keep you from this, because fascism really wants to keep people uneducated, and conservatives are the thing that take liberalism and lean it towards fascism, because they lean on that social frustrations that leftists also kind of lean on in a different manner, but they lean on that and then go around and like blaming the government for being in the way of the corporations, which they were mandated in the Constitution to like be under. The Congress is like supposed to regulate all commerce, all of it, every single bit, not a single bit left untouched. It's true. So conservatives are just stupid. They are. They are less educated. So, Marxism seeks to explain social phenomena within any given society by analyzing the material conditions and economic activities required. Wait, did I? I thought I. Nope, I didn't. Marxism seeks to explain social phenomena within any given society by analyzing the material conditions and economic activities required to fulfill human needs. It assumes that the form of economic organization or mode of production influences all other social phenomena, including wider social relations, political institutions, legal systems, cultural systems, aesthetics, and ideologies. These relations, together with the economic system, form a base and superstructure. As forces of production, i.e., technology, improve, existing forms of organizing production become obsolete and hinder further progress. As Karl Marx observed, at a certain stage of development, the material productive forces of society come into conflict with the existing relations of production, or, this merely expresses the same thing in legal terms, with the property relations within the framework of which they have operated hitherto. From forms of development of the productive forces, these relations turn into their fetters. Then begins an era of social revolution. These inefficiencies manifest themselves as social contradictions in society, which are in turn fought out to the level of class struggle. Class conflict, class struggle, class warfare. I'm sure you've heard all the terms. And yeah, I know if there's any leftists in here that do come and watch this, I know you probably know this. This isn't for you. But I love you. Under the capitalist mode of production, this struggle materializes between the minority who own the means of production, the bourgeoisie, and the vast majority of the population who produce goods and services, the proletariat. Needed a drink. Starting with conjectural premise that social change occurs as a result of the struggle between different classes within society who contradict one another, a Marxist would conclude that capitalism exploits and oppresses the proletariat, therefore capitalism will inevitably lead to a proletarian revolution. In a socialist society, private property, as the means of production, would be replaced by cooperative ownership. Oh, what's that? The overview of the Wikipedia gives it all away. A socialist economy would not base production on the creation of private profits, but on the criteria of satisfying human needs, that is, production for use. As Friedrich Engels explains, the capitalist mode of appropriation in which the product enslaves first the producer and then the appropriator is replaced by the mode of appropriation of the products that is based upon the nature of the modern means of production. Upon the one hand, direct social appropriation as means to the maintenance and extension of production; on the other, direct individual appropriation as means of subsistence and of enjoyment. Marxian economics and its proponents view capitalism as economically unsustainable. Oh, okay. and incapable of improving the living standards of the population due to its need to compensate for falling rate of profit by cutting employees' wages and social benefits while pursuing military aggression. Oh, what's that? Hold on a second. Let's break this down and apply it to modern day. Okay. So, it is proposed. Okay. Capitalism is economically unstable. Okay, so let's see. Uh, how often do we have an economic crash? On average, it's every 4 to 7 years. There is a big kind of crash in a market. Kind of unsustainable. And incapable of improving the living standards of the population due to its need to compensate for falling rate of profit by cutting employee wages. Not letting them grow is a form of cutting them. They haven't grown in over 10 years. And social benefits, they've been cutting food stamps, putting stricter requirements on food stamps. They've been trying to diminish the Social Security Administration, Medicare and Medicaid, as well as TANF and SNAP, and WIC, which would affect those babies that conservatives love so much, while pursuing military aggression. How many wars are we in? Well, we've got Syria, we've got Afghanistan, we've got, well, let's just let me see. Holy shit. $2014. Get that. Here, let's go with this one. World Population Review. Afghanistan with the United States. Yemeni Civil War. Okay, not us. Syrian Civil War, which we're in. Actually, I think, no, we're in Yemen. We're aiding them because Saudi Arabia. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, Mexico. We're indirectly fueling because we have outlawed drugs, which has fueled the profits of a black market of drugs from the Mexican cartel. If we didn't have the drugs illegal and we made them able to be sold like by the state, with the ability to like help rehabilitate people at the same time, but give them a good place to go and do the things like Singapore. So there's that. Ooh, I need to check and see if People are dumb. And I follow them on my secondary account. Everyone's treating the stock market like a fucking game, and that's because it is. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, let me send a fucking message. Wait, was there anybody else who wanted to, like... Nope, just tweets from Nina Turner. What a good woman. I wish I could fucking like shit. Alright, that's irritating. So, Turkey. I don't think we're involved in Turkey. Somalia. We actually just took in a bunch of refugees from Somalia. I don't know if we actually got involved. I'm not 100% sure. Iraq, that was us. Libya, we were involved in that. I guess it's depending on your definition of war, or is this? I don't know. Hmm. Who's the least at war? The Vatican City. It's because they don't want to fuck with anyone. Wait, hold on. I have to know. They shouldn't be on here at all. Number 100, Switzerland. You're neutral. What the fuck? He's expecting to surpass 400 million. Yeah, no shit, we're not gonna stop growing. We have more space, and China has like 1.4 billion people. What? I I don't I don't know. Okay. I guess it's just stating a trend. But that's kind of expected, honestly. New York, Los Angeles. Yeah. Look at this. Look at you. Move. Come on, liberals. Move some of you. You could easily move like a million people around. Bolster like other states. Why? Liberals. Please. Please help. We need you. You put like 300,000 voting liberals in my state? Oh my god. I'm within this trend here. Red and blue. Just call red and blues.
You can just call red and blue. I will hand you my card. You can just do that. Here. Here. You're gonna need your. But I don't think you can pay that way. Well, you might be able to. Alright. I don't care about this. Point is. Oh, that actually further prove my point there, because this whole pursuing military aggression thing. People boast that the world is a capitalist world. That's why there's a book written called Capitalism Alone. And what Capitalism Alone is about is essentially that, how the world is now fully embraced capitalism and how things are great. Why is it that all the capitalist nations are pursuing war? Because, I mean, obviously there's not all capitalist nations. Venezuela isn't just, it's not capitalist, really. Denmark and Sweden are, yeah, I mean, in the basic sense, they're capitalist. Cuba, nah. Like, there's different countries out there that aren't capitalist. The socialist mode of production would succeed capitalism's as humanity's mode of production through revolution by workers. According to Marxian crisis theory, socialism is not an inevitability, but an economic necessity. I mean, I think it's both. See, here's the deal. We're kind of drifting into a divide. A big, big divide. Now, the good thing is that if we do a good job at it appealing to more people, if we just get more people, we win. We need to get more people, and we need to get them ready. Come on, Doomers. Get off the Nazi bandwagon. They're not good for you. They'll kill most of you anyways. Half of you are repressed gay people. And about 20% of you are probably trans. You just don't know it. Embrace it. Come to the left. You will be shown love. At least, I will. We need to get other people in. So come on. Bring your friends. Come on, Doomers. You don't need the Nazi path. They want to kill you. So just come, embrace yourself, and come to me. Together, we can change the world. There is hope. Hopium is out there. So don't digest that doomer pill. Don't let the doomer pill take you all the way to the end of the world. Because it wouldn't be the end of the world. It would just be the end of your world. And that's not good. Okay. The term Marxism was popularized by Karl Kautsky, who considered himself an orthodox Marxist during the dispute between the orthodox and revisionist followers of Marx. Kautsky's revisionist rival, Edward Bernstein, SDP. Okay, yeah. Kautsky's revisionist, idiot. Kautsky's revisionist rival Edward Bernstein also later adopted use of the term. Okay, and he was Social Democrat Party, yeah, SDP. Had held close association with Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, but he began to identify what he believed to be errors in Marxist thinking and began to criticize views held by Marxism when he investigated and challenged the Marxist materialist theory of history. He rejected significant parts of Marxist theory that were based upon Hegelian metaphysics and rejected the Hegelian dialectical perspective. Oh, so. Okay. I don't like this word. Incremental. Don't care about the early life. The vehemence of Bernstein's opposition to the government of Bismarck made it desirable for him to leave Germany. Shortly before the anti-socialist laws came into effect, Bernstein went into exile in Zurich, accepting a position as the private secretary of Karl Hochberg, a wealthy supporter of social democracy, of course. Wealthy people like social democracy because they can keep the exploitation of the proletariat. I admit, social democracy is advocated for essentially in Marxist theory. Like in Marxism. It's transitional steps. Social democracy is just another transitional step. I don't think we can get there through incremental reform anytime that we need to. So that's stupid. That's, yeah. How big is Zurich? Huh. Agglomeraton? Agglomeration? Agglomeration. Okay. Okay, so 434,355. And the general area has 1.3 million. Cool. So he relocated to London, where he associated with Friedrich Engels and Karl Kautsky because Bismarck convinced the Swiss government to expel important members of the SDP. And so, after his arrival in Switzerland, he began to think of as a Marxist. 1880, he accompanied Babel to London to clear up a misunderstanding concerning his involvement with an article published by Hochberg that was denounced by Marx and Engels as being chock full of bourgeois and petty bourgeois ideas. Because it probably was. The visit was a success, and Engels in particular was impressed by Bernstein's zeal and ideas. back in Zurich, Bernstein became increasingly active in working for Der Social Democrat and later succeeded George von Volmar. George von Vil wait. George Heinrich Ritter von Velmar of Veldum. Wildham? Wildham. As the paper's editor, which he was for 10 years. It was during those years and between 1880 and 1890. Why is my microphone so quiet? Or is it just that? Yeah, it's just that. Okay. It was during those years between 1880 and 1890 that Bernstein established his reputation as a majority party theoretician and a Marxist of impeccable orthodoxy. He was helped in that by the close personal and professional relationship he established with Engels. The relationship owed much to the fact that he shared Engels' strategic vision and accepted most of the particular policies that Engels believed the ideas to entail. In 1887, the German government persuaded the Swiss authorities to ban the Der Social Democrat. Bernstein moved to London, where he resumed publication from premises in Kentish Town. His relation with Engels soon developed into a friendship. He also communicated with various English socialist organizations, notably the Fabian Society. And Henry Mayer's Hindman's Social Democratic Federation. In later years, his opponents routinely claimed that his revisionism was caused by seeing the world through English spectacles. However, Bernstein denied the charges. In 1895, Engels was deeply distressed when he discovered that his introduction to a new edition of The Class Struggles in France, written by Marx in 1850, had been edited by Bernstein and Kautsky in a manner that left the impression that he had become a proponent of peaceful road to socialism. Oh geez. On the 1st of April, 1895, 4 months before his death, Engels wrote to Kautsky. I was amazed to see today in the Vorwärts an excerpt from my introduction that had been printed without my knowledge and tricked out in such a way as to present tricked out. Oh, look at that. Ancient German phrase. In such a way as to present me as a peace-loving proponent of legality quondamine at all costs. Which is the more reason why I should like it to appear in its entirety in the Neue Zeit, in order that this disgraceful impression may be erased. I shall leave Liebknecht in no doubt as to what I think about it, and the same applies to those who, irrespective of who they may be, gave him this opportunity of perverting my views and, what's more, without so much as a word to me about it. Fucked up. In 1891, Bernstein was one of the authors of the Erfurt program, and from 1896 to 1898 he published a series of articles entitled Problem des Socialismus, Problems of Socialism, that resulted in the revisionism debate in the SPD. He also published the book The Prerequisites for Socialism and the Tasks of Social Democracy in 1899. The book was in great contrast to the positions of Bebel, Kautsky, and Liebknecht. Rosa Luxemburg's 1900 essay, Reform or Revolution, was also a polemic against Bernstein's position. Yeah, because good old Rosa. In 1900, Bernstein published Zur Geschichte und Theorie des Sozialismus, The History and Theory of Socialism. Is that in my thing? It probably isn't. I think it just absolutely rejects it as actual socialist theory on a lot of these websites. So I don't know. Became a member of the Reichstag. Oh. Voted against the armament tabling in 1913, together with the SPD's fraction left wing. SPD fractions left wing. Although he voted for war credits in 1914, he opposed World War I from 1915, and in 1917 was among the founders of the Independent Social Democratic Party, which united anti-war socialists, including reformists like Bernstein, centrists like Kautsky, and revolutionary socialists like Karl Liebknecht. He was a member of the USPD until 1919, when he rejoined the SPD from 1920 to 1928. Bernstein was again a member of the Reichstag. He retired from political life in 1928, and he died in 1932 in Berlin. Yep. So, revisionism. That's good. I am not sympathetic to Zionism. People just need to fucking treat people better. Jewish people don't need their own ethno-state. White people don't need an ethno-state. Black people don't need an ethno-state. Nobody needs ethno-states. Nobody needs them. They just engender more hatred later. That's all it does. Like, hello. Over thousands of years, you had white people separate from black people. Like Britain and stuff. Even then, that's not entirely true. There were black people in London before they sailed anywhere, I'm pretty sure. But, like, you just didn't... If you don't have a good representation of people, you can engender a lot of hostility. So having a few black people in London wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, Rome had black citizens back when it was the, like, Holy Roman Empire and shit. They even had a black emperor. But, you know. Wait, what is this? Oh, that's cool. Alright. I didn't know you could do that. Okay. I'm fucking saving this one. It's literally... It's just going to be a, fun read. Wow. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. We got more to go over. I had to read up on shit real quick. Because Kautsky. There's this thing called him a centrist. Oh, that's why. Okay, Lenin, pretty decent. Trotsky, from what I understand, good. Stalin, fucking not. Not based. Do like Lenin though. Do like Trotsky. Is this what I think it is? Yep. Okay. It's like what I did earlier. Oops. Oh wait. Got it. Society does not consist of individuals, but expresses the sum of interrelations, the relations with which these individuals stand. Dude, everything this dude wrote. All of it. He predicts the alienation. He even told a story about it. He's like, I realize, he was eating breakfast, and he's like, I realize I don't know the guy who made this sausage. His daughter said, people don't make sausage, pigs do. And he said, no, 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 no. Oh, no, it wasn't the sausage. It was, I don't know the guy who laid this egg. And she said, people don't lay eggs, chickens do. And he said, no, 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 no. I don't know the person who brought me these eggs. Like, who collected them and put them together. I have to go to a store. But back under feudalism, I knew the name of the person. I knew who their family was. Same with the person, like, same with the person who made your horseshoes. You knew his name and his family. Because back then, let's face it, that's who was doing it. Him. Don't. So Marx recognized instantly the alienation that comes from capitalism. You don't know the people who do things. Most of the time. Like, I don't know the person who packaged the stuff that I deliver to people, but the people who I deliver to do know who I am. So there are some places where that's not entirely the same. But, I mean, there's levels of it. The people who get the food, they don't know who makes that food. Not unless they're a super regular and they know everybody there. But even then, they don't know the cook. They don't know the delivery driver who brought the food. The delivery driver who brought the food doesn't know the person who packaged the food. Neither does the delivery driver who brought it to me. So, it's a line of alienation. And it's baked into it. Historical materialism. Oh, yeah. But with this. This is not... Yeah, society does not consist of individuals. No individuals. The sum of interrelations, which means the stuff we do together. So, there's people, but it's not individuals who built society. It was our... Pardon me? Collective effort. Yeah, collective effort. Just know that. The point. I'm hungry. The point is, you can just go through this and apply it to life. I wish I could figure out how to just make this super public. Like the ultimate public. Oh, can I just... Well, it's not done, so I gotta do more work. I don't know if you can edit this after publishing to the web. I'm gonna have to restart my computer, but that's okay. How long have I been gone? Fuck off, advanced audio settings. 16. Oh, 2 hours. Alright. Of course, nobody's watching. Nobody ever watches these live. But they are live, so. Well, we went through some of the Marxist stuff, kind of just to illustrate a point. Like, you can just. You can read the basics off of Wikipedia, and that's to get a good thing. And then, just to prove that it's not just Wikipedia links. Ooh, I don't have a PDF reader. But I could just download this because it's free. And you just click on a thing and you do it. So, for example, let's just experiences of the Paris Commune. Oh, it is well known that in the autumn of 1870, a few months before the Commune, Marx warned the Paris workers that any attempt to overthrow the government would be the folly of despair. But when, in March 1871, a decisive battle was forced to... Shit. Go away, chat. A decisive battle was forced upon the workers, and they accepted. You know what? Actually. There. Stay there, chat. And they accepted it. When the uprising had become a fact, Marx greeted the proletarian revolution with the greatest enthusiasm, in spite of unfavorable auguries. Marx did not persist in the pedantic attitude of condemning the untimely movement, as did the ill-famed Russian renegade from Marxism, Plekhanov, who, God, he's always so inflammatory, who in November 1905 wrote encouragingly about the workers' and peasants' struggle, but after December 1905 cried, liberal fashion, they should not have taken up arms. Okay. Marx, however, was not only enthusiastic about the heroism of the communards, who, as he expressed it, stormed heaven. Although the mass revolutionary movement did not achieve its aim, he regarded it as a historic experience of enormous importance, as a certain advance of the world proletarian revolution, as a practical step that was more important than hundreds of programs and arguments. Marx endeavored to analyze this experiment, to draw tactical lessons from it, and re-examine his theory in the light of it. My phone buzzed. I must check. Oh. The only correction Marx thought it necessary to make to the Communist Manifesto he made on the basis of the revolutionary experience of the Paris Commune. The last preface to the new German edition of the Communist Manifesto, signed by both its authors, is dated June 24, 1872. In this preface, the authors Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels say that the program of the Communist Manifesto has in some details become out of date, and they go on to say, one thing especially was proved by the Commune, viz., that the working class cannot simply lay hold of the ready-made state machinery and wield it for its own purposes. The authors took the words that are in single quotation marks in the passage from Marx's book, The Civil War on France. Thus, Marx and Engels regarded one principal and fundamental lesson of the Paris Commune as being of such importance that they introduced it as an important correction to the Communist Manifesto. So yeah, that's... comrades. So, just, yeah, you can see. Yep. See, they got abolition right here, but they just put an I here. So there's some typos because somebody's typing out the fucking book. There's not a whole lot of people running this place. So, they even got the end notes with hyperlinks and everything. So, that's a thing. You can read this. You can just go here, marxist.org/archive/linen/works/1917/state-rev/ or forget that slash, just put .htm and it'll take you to the beginning because this is chapter 3. If you remember, I scrolled down to chapter 3. We were at what made the communards attempts so heroic. Boom. That's a thing. Ah, man. I think that joint did me some good. I'm hungry. I'm calm. I'm good. So, this here, I mean, I'm being a little spiteful. The reason I'm doing this entire stream is to fucking yell about people being stupid. And the point of this particular section is to prove that, yeah, I haven't read all theory, but I have read theory. Yeah. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna end the stream. But I think I managed to get Minecraft to take less, shit on my system. So, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Have a good night. Take care.